gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's going on? What's going on to all my embracers? Yeah, I know y'all shocked. It's Tuesday. Embrace on these YouTube streets. Gotta do it. My embracers are asking for it. They say, yo, you gotta drop 3 times a week. One time a week is not enough. So, hey, and that's what I want. I want to grow. Because you know why? This channel is about embracing your truth, our truth. And we believe in the process of healing and learning so we can become better versions of ourselves. So tonight's show is going to be a good one, and I am going to bring up my guest right now. Hink from the basement. You there, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I am. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. And thank you so much for participating in this with me because it was important. And not everybody is willing to open up like you're about to open up. And I really do appreciate it. And before I get you to introduce yourself and let people know where we can find you, of course, my name is Grace from Embrace the Grace, and you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Snapchat. I'm all over these social media streets because I'm trying to make a difference. I'm trying to have these young heads learn so we can become better communities, better parents, better people, and have better children grow up. And this is one of the reasons why I brought up this gentleman here, because after watching him talk, and shout out to the Lapeef Network, he just be speaking some real shit. And that's what we need nowadays. And a lot of you ladies, my ladies embracers, y'all might not like his delivery. Y'all might not like his tone, but I don't give a shit. I'm not here to spare your feelings. He's here for me to help me teach you. Because you see, y'all claim that I'm not black enough to talk on some of these subjects that we talk about. Y'all claim I'm a pygmy. Y'all claim that I'm weak because I'm an advocate for men and because I'm a ninja lover. That's okay. I'll take it all. I'll take it all because you know what? I have a black son and he's growing up in this world of today and has to navigate through a lot of BS unnecessarily because as us women, we're doing a lot of reckless, ratchet, stupid shit. And last night's show got heated because I didn't spare nobody's feelings. So tonight might be a little bit lit too tonight because I'm telling you, this gentleman, he has no filter. So Hink the basement, introduce yourself and tell everybody, tell all my embracers where we can find you and what you about, sir.
Got a whole lot going on over here. My phone's over here going off. I don't know why. Let me turn it off.
Everybody want to call when you go live. That's how it goes. You already know that?
Yes, that's how it is, ain't it? No, but my name is Hink, and just got a little YouTube channel I do, and I do it every Monday and Wednesdays, and usually on Mondays I talk about sports, just to kind of break up the monotony and do something different. Then I kind of get on like other people's panels, like the Real Precious. I get on her show with King, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They normally on there together, so I usually kick it with them on Monday, later on down the line, Monday nights and stuff like that. So it's all good. But then I have a Wednesday show, man. I just try to have a good grown man talk, just to try to really help the young men out there because there's really no voice for them. Nobody's speaking for them. Nobody really cares. I mean, that's how they act, and that's where they come off. Like men are irrelevant. Men are not necessary, which is a necessary evil, I guess. As long as we could provide some type of security and financial well-being for some of these ladies out here, they're good with that. Nothing else. Matter of fact, they don't even want us to be parents for real. They don't want us to be involved with the kids. Some ladies just rather have the baby and don't even want to help with the father. What I need the father for, I just need it for the moment to give me that, to get me pregnant, which is sad, but it is what it is. But I just try to speak again, like I said, for the young men out here, you know, especially between the age of 16 and 25, who's really needs to have a voice and really needs to be spoken to, who really needs somebody to educate, teach them, learn them, and show them some things that, you know, maybe they're not getting at home. Because unfortunately, a lot of these young men don't have the fathers in their life. The fathers not in their life, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to be the voice for them and try to speak to them and help them out. The reason I push it so hard because I got a young black son, like you said, and I feel bad for him. He's gonna have to go out here and deal with these individuals and look for a mate one day. And I'm hoping these ladies can teach their daughters to be how to be ladies, but I'm kind of worried about that. I'm putting my hands in these ladies' hands that's going to teach their daughters, and seeing how some of them act on a regular basis. Yeah, we in for a fight, young men. So that's why I'm here for, to speak to them so they know how to maneuver, how to act, how to carry themselves, you know, and how to behave, you know, even when the situation gets a little heated or uncomfortable. So
I hear you, Hank, and that's exactly why I'm here too, because I have a black son. You know, I know that as a mother, about the age of 15, that's it. My job is done with him, because there's so much I can do as a mom. Now it's time for his father to take over, and men to embrace him and teach him what it is to be a man. I can teach him how to be a good man, but I can't teach him how to be a man. And a lot of these women got it twisted. They think they can be the father and the mother, and that's so wrong. It's unbelievable. That's why a lot of our young men have taken on female characteristics and act like females and are so soft. And I see it. I coach basketball. I've been coaching for 18 years. I coach boys and I coach girls, and I see the girls part. So your son and my son got it rough, because half these girls don't even know how to boil water. You know, I tell my son all the time, you love to eat. You better get you one that know how to cook. I mean, I taught him how to cook, but you know what I'm saying? We're not teaching our kids their gender roles because they're so far lost. And that's why I have invited you, because what I try to talk about and try to show these ladies, maybe if they hear it from the horse's mouth, you know, a black man, like last night I had your video on when you said about vulnerability. I played your clip, you know, okay, you're not, you know, because they always like to shoot the messenger, Hank. They like to shoot me instead of just absorbing the message and trying to see what I'm showing them. They're losing the whole purpose of the message. So that's why I like to collaborate with people and bring other, especially black men, because the target audience is, you know, brown and melanated and black community, because that's who I engage with. That's who my ex-husband is. That's who my son is. That's all I've ever dated. So it doesn't make sense for me to try to teach white folks shit. I don't engage with them like that. So again, I thank you for coming. You know, these are going to be some serious questions, you know, and there's going to be some impromptu questions just out of conversation, nothing too deep, you know, everything respectful. So my embracers, the reason why I'm doing this show is because a lot of us women say we want an alpha male, but that's not true. What we say we want and what we usually end up with is two totally different things. And when you get confronted with an alpha male, we don't know how to, I got to include myself in that, Hank, because when I am with an alpha male, I got to move different. Y'all are different. Y'all don't play. You know what I'm saying? And women know who can they play games with and who they can't play games with. But see, the difference is some women think that they can get away with shit with certain men. And there are some men like you who stand down and have purpose and have standards and not going to move from that. Where a lot of men, you know, will bend over for a woman and lose themselves trying to help an ungrateful woman. So with that being said, let me give everybody what the definition is of an alpha male is. An alpha male is a man who is highly intelligent, confident, and successful. Alpha males are generally considered great leaders and prefer to be in a position of power. Common traits that alpha male possess include, again, being in a position of power, being comfortable with high level of responsibility. They're usually the most dominant, powerful, and assertive men in a particular group. However, in the urban dictionary, the definition of an alpha male is more of a personality type that usually describes somebody who is arrogant, obnoxious, insensitive, selfish, competitive, while also being insecure. So you see the difference? You see how they try to dumb it down? Hink in the urban dictionary is looked upon as a negative connotation. But in the regular Webster dictionary was the first dictionary I gave you. So that's why when women hear the term alpha male, it's the same reaction that they have when they hear the word submissive. It's like a curse word. Who, me? Submissive? Shit, I'm not bowing down to no man. I'm strong and independent. But you want me to pay, they want you to pay all their bills. So which one is it going to be? Are you strong and independent? Or do you want me to pay your bills and pay for your dinners when we go out? So it's a very confusing state right now. So first I'm going to start with, what is your definition? What do you see as what an alpha male is?
Shit. What I see as alpha male, to me, is any man who's a stand-up type dude. I mean, that any man can be that if they want to, but they gotta let the nuts hang. Unfortunately, the ladies either got them in their purse or they just never drop, and so that's why they act the way they act. Some of them don't even realize they got them, so that's why they don't ever display them like they should. Again, we talk about young men raised by single mothers. That's not a problem, as long as there's a male role model, father figure in that boy's life. That boy has a chance. But if that young man is raised up by nothing but a female, and that's all he sees is females, he's gonna act. He's gonna carry himself.
Like a
He's
female.
gonna move. He's gonna behave. He's gonna talk like what he sees. Kids learn. That's how they learn. They learn their behaviors. These are learned behaviors. We don't come out the womb just acting like this. We learn. And so if these young men are learning nothing but women traits, more than likely they're gonna act like women. So two things gonna happen if you raise a single son with no male role model figure. He's gonna either be a homosexual boy or he's gonna be a boy in prison. Because he's gonna be a man who's gonna be out here having a lot of kids, try to prove his manhood, the truth that he's masculine. It doesn't make you a man because you're able to make all these damn babies. And if you could take care of
it makes you a puppy.
that shows you a man. If you can take care of these kids, I'm talking about legitimately, not just financially. I'm talking about emotionally. You physically got to be there. Emotionally got to be there for them kids. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you're involved. You got to make sure that you spend quality time with these kids. These kids shouldn't just have 10 to 5 minutes of your day asking kids, how was school? That was it? Okay. No, it takes more than that. So being a man is being a part, not just putting all the burdens off on the mother. Because you got to do your part. Now, I understand people's work schedule may be hectic. You find time to do what you want to.
Absolutely.
You make time if that's what you need to do. Guess what? Everybody I know has a vacation time. They have personal time. So if it means you're not really sick, but you need to take the day off, spend time with your children, then do what you got to do. Make sure you at every event that you can be at, that you can financially afford to be at. Why not? As a man, that's what you should be doing. Especially one who calls himself an alpha man. You need to be there. Because if not, you're gonna have to influence around these other people influence your child. We see what they're going on, what they're doing in the schools. I'm glad my son is graduating this year. I don't have to worry about that no more. But I feel bad for my granddaughter because now she's got to suffer. She's got to deal with this stuff. My daughter has got to deal with it for her daughter. And I tell my daughter, I said, if I was you, I'll be looking into homeschooling.
Wow. You that serious about it?
Yes. Because we see what's going on and see the agenda they're trying to push on these kids. If some of these parents does not get involved, that's one of the problems. Be a part of the PTA, be a part of school, because they have to run it by the board first. The board has to approve it. And after the board approve it, we're running by the schools. Guess where they talk about this stuff? At them PTA meetings. That's where the conversation's coming. So when they come there, you need to let it be known, I don't want my child learning this stuff. And so you could opt out. But if you don't know, you just sit back relying on everything. You just trust everything the school's doing. And guess what? They're going to put that. You won't find out until they get their first report card or maybe their progress report. What class is this? What classes are you failing in or not going to? Why are you? And it might be that class where they teaching him lifestyles that you don't approve of, that you're not agreement with. And you got a different issue. Now they pressing this on your child and you had no idea. Because you're not aware, you're not involved. And as a father, your voice speaks louder than anything. You know, you go to the meetings, you'll see 20 mothers. You may see 2 fathers. I used to go to my son's basketball, every game he was involved with. I was there. You'll see all the mothers in the stands. You'll see the mothers there, wherever. You see maybe about 5 fathers. That's all it was, 5 fathers. We got 30-some kids on the team between the varsity and the JV and the freshmen. But you only see 5 fathers. That's a lot of kids, and you only see 5 fathers. But you may see 2 mothers to each child, because that's how many women to be there, just to support either aunties, grandmothers, everybody. But the men are not there. Why? What's the problem?
But Hank, you want to know something else?
You know, men involve themselves in the sports activities. They don't have a problem with that. It's just when they had to come to the academia. That's when, you know, it's kind of scarce. They rely on the mother to take care of all of this. No, why? Why are you gonna put that pressure on her? And she may not handle it. You may have the type of woman who don't know how to act and talk and carry herself because they don't want to hear the bad things about their son. Oh, your son was acting this way. He's talking too much in class. And they say, no, not little Johnny. I know my son ain't doing all that. I'll be damned. Johnny bad a motherfucker.
Yeah, and what you're speaking of, Hink, you're absolutely right, because as a coach, I would purposely sit down with my new team and find out if they come with a mom and dad or they have separate households, because a lot of moms won't give the dad their game schedule. So I make it a point. I'm like, okay, I'm going to need your mom's number and I'm going to need your dad's number. And I would personally print out schedules and give it to the dads, because I know how mothers can be, and they will purposely not tell the father when their games are. And I'm not having that shit, because there's a lot of dads out there that want to know where the games are. They want to come to their children's game, but like you said, they put it on the woman. And a lot of men have to stop that. Stop counting on the woman to get you their report cards. Stop counting on the women to get you their school schedule. As men and as fathers, you guys have to do more. You're absolutely right. You cannot put it on the woman, because what if that woman ain't shit and don't want you involved, but she can't stop you from coming to a basketball game. She can't stop you from coming to the basketball celebration. So I made it a point, and a lot of moms didn't like that, Hank, because they felt that I was intruding or getting involved. I said, well, he has a dad, doesn't he? Is he not entitled to come to the game? And I would make them feel stupid, and then I would just walk away from them. You can't stop me from giving a father a schedule for his kid. It's not right and it's not fair. So everything you just said, I've seen it, I live it, even with the girls. You know, a lot of the mothers don't come to practice. They don't, they're late all the time. And then they wonder why their girls are not on coach. Well, why didn't you put my daughter in the game? Others for what? She don't come to practice. And if she does, she's late. And I look at her because the kid don't drive. So who you think is making her late? So a lot of it, you know, I always have a meet and greet before my seasons. And I always tell the parents, the success of the team is contingent upon you guys, the parents. Y'all the ones that drive them to the games. Y'all the ones that bring them to practice. So I need you to bring them there. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I said, I got this part as part as coaching the kids, but y'all got to do your part. And you're right. You're right. I was in the PTA and I barely saw dads there. It's like all you guys are good for is for money. You know, Johnny needs this, Johnny needs that for a school trip. Why can't I go and be what is it called? When you go on a field trip with your kid and you go with them, why can't the father go? Why is it always the mother? So you're absolutely right. We need to do better as men and as parents. So let me ask you the next question, Hank. Would you consider I know we all know the answer to this, but I want to hear it. Would you consider yourself an alpha male? And why?
Well, according to the definition, I understand it. But you know something, Grace, I really don't get into that alpha male shit, though. I really don't. I just don't, because I don't see myself no better than the next man, right? I'm just an average man, hard working man. Go ahead and do what he need to do to make sure he maintains his family and take care of his responsibility. I don't see nothing special about me.
But you move like one. If you don't think it, but you talk and you move in these in throughout your life as such, you know, women will look at you as an alpha male. Other men look at you as alpha male.
And I understand that, man. And because what they used to seeing, they not used to seeing some dude who's about his business on a regular basis, who's not for that bullshit. They don't see that. They see the dude to be joking and laughing and kiki all the time. Like that's all he do is all the time. I could joke. I can have a good time and relax and smile. I got feelings. People don't think I got feelings. They think I'm just this goddamn angry ass, burly ass man machine. But no, yeah, I got feelings, all that good shit. But you know, I don't see myself as nothing special. But looking at the definition, I do understand why people think and say that to me sometimes, and why I heard that, and why people feel that way. And it's cool. I mean, it's a compliment, I guess. But guys, let me tell you, I promise you, I'm no different from you. I have struggles, I have ups and I have downs. I have bad days, I have dark days. Man, I've been depressed. I went through divorce. You know what I'm saying? I lost a girl. I've been told no before. You know what I'm saying? I had to go take a cold shower because it wasn't happening in the night. I had to suffer all of those things. I'm no different from you. I just deal with shit differently. That's it. I don't let it get me too high. I don't get too low.
I hear you.
I don't worry about people's opinion about me. I don't care. You like me or not. You kiss my ass. I don't. You're not gonna move me like this. I do YouTube because I'm trying to send a message. I'm not looking to make no money. I ain't made a goddamn dime off it. I had a couple people send me super chats, and I appreciate them, but I'm not looking for that. I know how to go here and grind. I know how to go here and punch a clock if need be. I know how to go here and hustle, and I don't have to sell drugs. I do nothing like that to get it. No, that's not how I move. I move like your uncle used to move. I move like your daddy should move.
But you know why you move like that? Because you learned a lot from your grandfather. Okay, because I've heard the stories. I've heard what you talk about him. You know, I wasn't there to hear you about your dad, but you really, really talk a lot about your grandfather. So he must have been a pivotal person in your life. And that's why I feel that I'm doing I don't want to use the word feel. I think I'm doing a better job than most single moms because I grew up with a strict Sicilian dad. And then he had brothers and uncles and cousins. I was surrounded by men all the time. So everything that I've learned from my father, or I heard him teaching my brother, I'm just pouring into my son, pouring into my son. And I've always been that chick. You know, when you was growing up and you had a crew and there was always a chick hanging out with the crew, they was either doing the whole crew or they were dating somebody from the crew. That was me. So I would sit there and hear y'all talk. I'd be in the barber shop, hear y'all talk, you know, and it's just like, wow, y'all have feelings too. Y'all have emotions too. It got heated last night, Hink, last night with the vulnerability show, because I had one guest on my panel that refused to, oh, there's no way if I had a death in the family that I'm gonna cry in front of you because then you will no longer see me as your protector in this. And I get it. But it's men like that that make us women forget that y'all have emotions and that y'all have feelings. There are some times where us women, we need to know that you're feeling something. You can't walk around us like robots. You know, so
that sound like an insecure dude, you know? And I feel bad for that dude if that's the way he thinks and moves, because that's not the case, dude. I mean, you know, I mean,
thanks. I mean,
like, you know, probably crying. When you
crying on the inside,
wherever you crying at, when you crying in the dark by yourself, you're gonna shed a tear too. There's nothing wrong with it. Doesn't make you less of a man if you show some type of. Now, if you walk around here crying all the goddamn time, now that's a problem.
Different.
Yeah, you need to get on somebody's couch or somebody's Zoom meeting and have a conversation. If you're doing all that shit, man, yeah, that's a problem. But I'm talking about, you know, you're going through some shit and you just shed a tear or two. Dude, this world can overwhelm you sometime, man.
Exactly. And I was trying to explain to him that too many men suffer in silence, and that suffering in silence causes stress, causes medical conditions, causes rage, hostility. Now you're kicking the dog, you're lashing out at the kids, you're taking it out on me. I mean, come on. There comes a point where, but it is our responsibility as women, and that was what the whole show was about, to allow men to feel safe, to be vulnerable. And we got to stop doing this punk ass shit that we do. A man comes and becomes vulnerable with us, and then we throw it in their face in the heat of the moment. So a man, that is one of the worst things, my lady embracers, that you can do. If the man has taken the time to be vulnerable with you, which means you allowed him to have a safe space, and then you turn around and throw that shit in his face in the heat of the moment, you guys don't know you women don't know what that does to a man. You'll lose a man over that shit, and he'll never trust you again. He'll go talk to Becky, and he'll go talk to the Latin girl and the Chinese girl, and then you're gonna get mad. I keep telling black men all the time, the first choice of a black man, Hink, is a black woman. But because of the fuck shit that they do, they think I'm taking them from them. No, I'm not taking y'all black men from y'all. Y'all giving them to us. They coming over here voluntarily and eagerly.
I mean, and if you put us in a situation like that, you might not like the results.
Then get mad at me and roll their eyes at me. You know, what does she have that I don't? I'm not combative. I'm not argumentative. You give a man peace. What did the great Kevin Samuels used to say? Sex, silence, and sandwich. And that's it. That's it. Okay, so Hank, do you think there's such a thing as an alpha female?
Unfortunately. Look, unfortunately they are. Yeah, nobody want to deal with that shit. You might as well be sleeping with a goddamn man if that's the case.
I used to actually think that there was such a thing as an alpha female, and I had to learn that there isn't. But let me explain to you why. When a woman is constantly in her masculinity and is always the brains of the operation and always has to do shit, they're so used to being in that masculine role that when they finally do meet up with somebody that's alpha or is doing it's very easy for a woman to maintain her femininity when she's with a man that's displaying his masculinity. And that's what we're lacking in our men now, is masculinity. Why? Same reason, because most men are being raised by women. So it's like it's a catch-22. But I'm learning. You know, I used to be real headstrong when I was young, real sassy, you know, talk back and whatever. But as you get older and you deal with different men, you learn to shut the fuck up and speak to when spoken to. And I'm still myself, Hink. But because I went to therapy, I did my counseling, and what did my therapist say? We're gonna work on being more graceful versus so gangster. And I always revert back to that. When I feel myself, somebody pushing that button, I count to 10 backwards, and I'm like, okay, what would a graceful person do? you know what I'm saying? And again, like I said before, women know who they can try and who they can't try. And they push the envelope sometimes, and then they wonder why they get their ass beat or bad things happen, because you're putting your hands on them, you're calling the police, you're doing things that shouldn't be happening because you want to get back at him, instead of just doing the smart thing, walk away. So Hank, are you raising your son to be an alpha male?
Man, I'm raising my son to be the best version of him, man. That's my main objective, to be the best man he could be. You know what I'm saying? Pouring into him every day. Because you know, I ain't got no choice, man. I see what's out here. I see what he's gonna have to deal with on a regular basis. So he's got to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately for him, it's gonna be more of them.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, even back in the days, we had them masculine type women. They was around. It wasn't like they wasn't around. They just something that came about 10 or 15, 20 years ago. They always been around. You just didn't have as many, so they wasn't a problem.
Mm-hmm. Now they're like, the majority.
Yeah, now it's like every 10, you're gonna have at least 6 of them masculine and mannish to the motherfucker. Nobody want to deal with that shit. You feel like you hanging out with your boys or something when you're dealing with your own woman, your wife. And that's not a good thing. Nothing about that sexy. Nothing about that turn a man on. Let me take that back. Some man probably into that shit. Not this one. You can't come to me with that bullshit, man. I don't want to deal with your ass. And no man should. That's why I tell men to move like they should move, like the prize and the kings they are. Because the numbers in your favor. Why you accept bullshit from them? You don't have to. But if that's what you want, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I don't see it working for you. Because like you said, she may have your respect in the beginning, but soon after she'll realize she could just walk all over you. Man, you're going to be the laughing stock of the family reunion. Any gathering, they going to look at you, look at this pussy ass. Yeah.
I had that conversation with my son the other night. He has this girlfriend, and you know, she's a firecracker, and I would notice that he would let a lot of shit slide and whatever. And he's 17, and I pulled him to the side because he came up to me and said, "Mom, I broke up with her." I said, "Why?" He was like, "She's too childish and immature, and I can't deal with it." I said, "Now you got to stick to your word, got to be bond, okay? You got to stick to that, because if you go back on your word, or you can make her work for it again, but as a young man, you got to stand on your 10 toes and mean what you say and say what you mean, because if you keep playing these back and forth games with these little girls, you're going to get lost in the sauce. And I do not want to catch no charge over your ass because it's something you could have prevented from doing."
Well, the problem is she's not gonna respect him as a young man. Your word, she ain't gonna think your word don't mean shit. She knows I could just come here and throw the puppy eyes at him, maybe throw that ass at his face, and everything's gonna be good.
Well, thank God it's a long distance relationship. Now she's in Florida and we're in Georgia, so it's a little bit harder. But when they were together down in Florida, it's like, you know, he melt like butter. But this is his first everything, so I'm, you know what I'm saying, giving him a little leeway. But I keep talking to him and I keep telling him, look, you're a young, handsome, tall man. You've been working since you were 14. You were the first one out the crew to get a job, get your license, drive a car. You're ahead of the game. You're gonna have 850 credit when you're 18, because I put you on all my credit cards as an authorized user on my credit cards. You're gonna be good, but don't you dare let these females run you. So hopefully he listens. You know, it's hard to talk to a 17-year-old who's full of hormones and.
Right, She gonna run him. It's coming. It's only a matter of time. He's gonna have to take some L's. He's gonna have to take a couple L's before he starts to learn and listen to any knowledge that was shared or given to him. He's not ready to listen now. My son's the same way. I tell him about, hold on, why are you doing all this for this little girl? You know what I'm saying? And so he listens, but then he don't. I can tell he listens because the type of girl she is. She's not a girl, don't wear a lot of makeup. She doesn't have she wears her natural hair, you know. So you could see he's listening and paying attention on certain things. But there's other things like, oh, daddy, she's nice. I won't be that one. I said, look, let me tell you this, dog. You about to go to college here this time next year. You might want to break up with this little girl because y'all ain't gonna make it. Because when you get on campus, you're gonna see some different type girls. They're gonna be more pretty.
Grown women.
All different. They're gonna act different. And you're gonna enjoy the conversation. I don't think y'all gonna make it. Now y'all may come back after school and you know you saw your oats a little bit and found a way to get back together, maybe. But more than likely, I doubt it. Because
what did he say when you told him that? What was his response when you told him that?
He shrugged shoulders and no, daddy, we in love. I said, boy, you don't know what that is just yet, but I understand. So I you know, like I said, I poured it to him. I let him live and learn. And when he take that L, we'll talk again. We'll have a different conversation by the end. He'd be crying, upset. Oh, she on my nerves. I'm done with her.
That's where my son was at. I'm like, he was like, Mom, I'm done.
I'm laughing.
On to the next.
I'm like, all right, dog. I heard what you say.
Yeah, but it's what you do that matters. Let me ask you another question. Do you think that the young males of today have any clue what it is to be an alpha male?
Nah. When you say young, what age are we talking about? If we talk about our son's age, no, hell no, they have no idea.
No. Let's say 22 to 30.
I think they have an idea because by then they didn't experience things. Hopefully, you know, maybe if they was in the military, they'd have been overseas and see some stuff and experience life a little bit. Maybe they've been on a college campus, learned some things, witnessed some things, and experienced some things. So they may have an idea. They don't know the full detail of it. And now, prayerfully, they have their father that was able to show them how a man should move, act, and respond and carry on, hopefully. But for those young men who don't, I hope they had a father figure in their life. And if not, they better subscribe to the basement. So he can
that's right.
Put some game in there.
I know that's right. My son follows you. As soon as I met you and I heard some of your shows, I said, look, because I had him follow Kevin Samuels. As rough as he was, there's some things that he needed to learn from him. And I have him subscribe to you too, because you know what? I can't feed him what you can feed him. And I tell a lot of young girls, like a lot of my parents that I used to coach that were single, I used to tell the moms, put him in the YMCA, get him in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program where he can have a mentor, where he can have an opportunity to be around testosterone. You know, because a lot of these young men, you got big mama, you got your grandma, you got your aunties, you got your female cousins. They're always surrounded by women. Their teachers at school are women. It's like they never really have a chance to be around men unless they're at the barbershop or in the locker room. It's like, come on. And then you wonder why all these men are well, men ain't shit. Okay, when I hear a woman say men ain't shit, my rebuttal is, Hank, who raising these ain't shit men? Who raising these ain't shit men? And then they stay quiet. They say, exactly. You raising them.
Well, the problem is, you know, a lot of women say that, but then realize they creating that beast. Y'all are creating a beast that y'all, the very beast that y'all call, that y'all dog out, that y'all hate. Because there's certain things y'all say, y'all do, the way y'all act, the way y'all move, the way you carry yourself, y'all create them. So when y'all was telling him no because he wasn't cool enough, or you didn't think he was, he didn't have the swag that you would need, or he didn't come with enough size in his pants, or whatever the case may be, or he didn't have enough zeros behind them ones. You know what I'm saying? You know, you kept turning them down, but guess what? Eventually, the nose turned into yes somewhere else.
Yeah.
And now he start to get build some self-confidence about himself. Now he start to build himself up, not only financially, but physically, mentally. Now he's ready for the world. Now y'all looking at him now like, oh shit. 10 years ago he wasn't shit, but now he's looking like something.
Yeah, after you didn't have 3 kids.
He's moving on.
After you didn't have 3 kids. 3 kids with 2 different men, and now you want this guy to clean up your fucking mess.
He ain't got time for you now, and as he should. He shouldn't have time for you. I wouldn't have shit for your ass. The hell, no shit. You ain't up to my standards. You ain't up to what I'm looking for. You don't flip the bill. I'm good. Matter of fact, I might knock your neighbor down because she's got the qualities I'm looking for.
You're absolutely right. I tell my son, you know what? Another thing we don't teach our young men is rejection. I tell my son, rejection is God's protection. You go for the girls that like you. You shouldn't have to chase nobody. And excuse my language to my embracers and my basement dwellers, but my son's dick is worth no more than any girl's vagina. Okay, I tell him, when you walk into a room, bitches' pussy should be twitching. You're not gonna ask for respect. You're gonna demand it, because that's how I raised you. Okay, and I mean, you're 6'4". My kid is 17. He's already 6'4". There's no reason for you not to walk into a room and demand respect. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, I learned all that from my dad. When he used to walk into a room, he wasn't so tall, but his personality, his vibes, women loved him. My mom used to get in her feelings all the time. He didn't give a shit. Like, he used to tell her, who am I going home with? Who have I been with for 30 years? So he used to, my dad was a dirty old man. He was funny. He would call the waitresses darling and sweetie, and my mother hated that. And she would purposely do it to have my mom pop off, because he knew it meant it, but it was no big deal. We would get great service. Just enjoy the meal and be happy. But you know, us women, we nick and pick too much, and I tell women all the time, pick and choose your battles wisely. It's not worth it. Okay, if the man leaves his socks on the floor, then put the fucking hamper right in the middle of the floor till you train him to put the socks in the hamper. But to argue every night and exert energy when we as a couple can be doing something so much better than arguing about some damn socks on the floor. But you know, that all comes with experience, wisdom, and a couple L's that women have. Or when they see themselves, winter is coming. You know, when they didn't hit that brick wall, 40 years old, and their choices are dwindling down and competing with the younger girls. Look, Hank, when I was on Kevin Samuel's show, we spoke. We had great dialogue, 5 to 7 minutes. And I love, admire, and respected this man. And Hank, don't you know, he chewed my ass out. Respectfully, he called me old. He called me a grandma. He said to me, nobody was going to respect me. I mean, that was the straw that broke the camel's back that made me start this YouTube channel. And the motherfucker died of me. We spoke March 15th, and then he died May 5th. So I owe all this to him. I owe all this to I was thinking about it for 2 years. After I had that conversation with him, I gotta prove to you that I'm gonna make a difference out here. You know what I'm saying? I may not be perfect. Yes, I'm still a woman. Yes, I'm still emotional, but we need to learn how to be emotionally intelligent with our shit. So with that being said, do you think that most young males of today are mostly betas, or do they still have a chance to be alphas?
Said most. Do I think most young men have a chance to be alphas or betas? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Man. Unfortunately, no, I think they're gonna be betas, man, because they're gonna do what they want to do just to get some ass. It's just unfortunately because a lot of these young cats, that's all they think it is about, man. You know, having sex and making a little money. No, it's more like than just that, man. You know, you want to be at peace sometimes, and being at peace is not about getting some booty, right? Look here, I'm the type dude. I choose money over ass any day. I choose money over ass any day. No big deal to me. It's just me. But a lot of these young cats, man, it's all about they'll sacrifice and lose their goddamn job just to get a shot of booty. What the hell's wrong with you? You sound crazy.
With all this ass, that's the most thing that's walking around on this earth.
You damn near ready to go homeless for a shot of ass. You ready to get your car repoed for a shot of ass. You ready to stay out all night knowing your mama wants you home at a certain time for a piece of ass. Why? You'll lose your life over a piece of ass. I'll be damned.
I'll go to jail.
For what?
And this is another thing. This is another thing I taught my son. I said, when you go to a girl's house and you're not familiar with her, you keep your keys, your phone, and everything in your pocket. Don't ever get too comfortable in a female's house. Because the first thing a bitch want to take is your keys and your phone, and now you can't leave. And now you're going to tussle and hustle to get your shit back. You keep that shit in your pocket. You know, you don't take it, keep your clothes and your shoes, fold your shit by the bed so you can tell if she's been in your wallet, if she's been snooping around. I'm giving him game, Hink, because even though I'm a woman, I'm gonna give him the game so he don't, I'm like you see, he gonna have to take some L's, but I'm trying to minimize the L's. I'm trying to teach him to see the red flags sooner than later. I told him, bitches ain't shit. They'll use you, they'll manipulate you, they don't give a shit about you. You know, she'll use you now, and as soon as she gets her own car, you ain't gonna be. I used to tell him, hey, when you get a car and driving, ask, cash, or grass. Nobody rides for free. So I remember when he came home one night, he saw the book bag on the table. He said, Mom, I know what grass is now. I said, okay, no problem. You just bring that shit home to mama. I got you. But nobody rides for free, because when you ain't got no gas in that car, you taking every Tom, Dick, and Sally and Susie everywhere. Who you think gonna give you? I'm not giving you no damn gas money. That's why I made sure you had a job since you were 14. And I would hear him. His friends would call him. Hey, I need a ride. I said, I need you to cash me $10 for gas. It's very simple. You got to teach your children how you want them to be. My best friend checked me one time, Nick. I guess I was being too soft with my kid, and she's like, yo, you raising the same type of men that you and me sit here and complain about. Why the fuck you getting up every morning and taking him to school? He can walk his ass to school. It's less than a half a mile away, because he was doing bad in school and his grades were bad. And she was like, why do you? So I stopped taking him to school. He had to get up and go, even in the rain. I wouldn't get up. I'd be like, fuck it, you're going to have to go to school. Walk to school. You didn't appreciate that I took you to school. You didn't appreciate that I dropped you off right in front of the school. And he had to walk home too. I wouldn't pick him up. I wouldn't do nothing. You know, you on your own. I actually was 1.2 miles away. He was a quarter mile too close to ride the bus. And he started walking. I had to get tough on him because I know as us mothers, we tend to be soft on our boys. We love them so much, but no, that soft shit is gonna hurt them in the long run. Like you said, it's gonna cause them to go to jail, lose their freedom, lose their job, lose their car, lose their fucking mind. That's why I didn't let him get a job at the mall. I said, you'll get lost in all that pussy at the mall. You're gonna work right here with me at the grocery store, because I work 2 jobs. You right with me where I can see you, know where you're working and making your money. And he's been there 3 years now, Hank. He's 17 now, been working since he was 8 and can maneuver his money. Well, he still eats his paycheck. I can't get him to stop eating Chick-fil-A. I don't know what the hell is in that chicken. But anyway. Now, let me ask you another question, Hank. Do most women you come across welcome your alphaness? You know what I'm saying? Because you can tell women that are not used to you and women that are okay with how you are. How do they act? How do they welcome it? Do they run away from it?
Well, like sometimes when I'm on panels, they first taken back by hearing me talk and hearing, I guess, how aggressive are some of the things I say, how I describe women sometimes. They're taken back. But then once, they continue to watch me and see me, hear me, and kind of understand where I'm coming from, it's like, oh, he's not that bad. It's just the way he is. And then they okay with it. But initially it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? They taken back by it, which is cool. I expect that, because maybe you were so used to a man bowing down to you or kissing your ass or doing whatever they wanted to do, like I said, to get a shot of ass, just to get your attention. And so they did that. I'm not on her to get your attention. I don't need it. I'm not looking for it. I'm on her just to get my point across and get my message out. That's it. Share my thoughts. Share my perspective. That's what I'm here for. And if you okay with it, you can rock with it, cool. If you can't, well, get over yourself.
And you're right, because when I first heard you on the panel, I'm like, oh shit. Females ain't going. The way you talk, I'm used to that, because that's how my dad talked. He didn't give a shit. We were allowed to curse when we was younger, but not him. That most women weren't raised around men, let alone how to learn how to interact with a man, let alone how to love a man. A lot of women don't even come across a real man till they go to college, or they start working when they're in 16, 17-year-old. So they're already fighting a losing battle. And it's sad because, like you say, they're raised with their moms. Niggas ain't shit. Well, ninjas ain't shit. You don't need a man. Men ain't shit. And all their lives, they hear this. They hear it from their aunties. They hear it from Big Mama. They hear it from their mama. And then come to find out, damn, we do need a man. And I be telling women that, you see that house you're about to go drive to? Who you think built that shit? That car you're about to get into and drive? Who built that? I saw Angry Man was on tonight, and give a shout out to Angry Man. He done brought us a lot of people over here. Hank, I don't know if you've been watching the comments. Everybody's like, Angry Man sent me. Angry Man sent me. So I need to give a shout out to Angry Man. He was talking some real shit today. He was bringing up the 50-50 bullshit with Gabriella Union and Dwayne Wade. And it's like, men, in order for a man to feel loved, ladies, they need to feel needed and they need to be respected. Men feel loved totally different from women. They don't give a shit all the shit that we care about. They want to be respected. They want to feel needed. And they want some coochie. Oh, and some head and some peace. And you gotta cook. You gotta eat. You gotta fill the stomach up. I mean, it's very simple. Keep the stomach full and the nutsacks empty. Sorry to be so crude, ladies and gentlemen, but that's how it is. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. Men are not that complicated. We're the ones that complicate shit. We're the ones. So why do you think so many women gravitate to alpha males or a man like you, Hank?
Because I think because they realize their life doesn't have the structure like they really should, and they see a man's with structure like it, it's something about that that's attractive. They know that they're gonna bring some type of leadership to their life, some type of stability. You know what I'm saying? They realize as they look at their son and he's getting out of hand, he needs some sort of father figure, not just on the every 2 hours, maybe 3 days a week basis, but 7 days, 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And they realize that then. Let me say this. I can tell a lot of these ladies, they don't own a home. I can tell. Because if you own a home, you wouldn't be saying you don't need a man when you got to deal with the issues of a home on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get tired of paying that yard guy $40 to $60 every week to cut and manicure your yard. But if you had a man, he can do that. You know what I'm saying? When your car is cold and it's too cold to go outside to warm your car and you ain't got no self-starter, right? Guess what your man gonna be out there doing? He gonna be out there scraping ice up off your windows, warming your car up for you, making sure.
Well, a real man.
Yeah. Matter of fact, when you need gas in your tank, baby, let's go get some gas. Oh, he might just take it to you. Baby, your car need to be washed. It's dirty. I'm gonna wash while I'm washing my car. Ain't no need to I'm looking clean and you looking dirty. Yeah, let me go and clean your car for you. He gonna make sure your tire pressure right. Your battery ain't turned over. Guess what he gonna do? He gonna find a way. He gonna get it replaced. Or he gonna find the guy to get him a mobile mechanic. He gonna call and get the work. You know what I'm saying? When that hot water heater go out in your house, all of a sudden you got to get that thing fixed and replaced. Guess what your man gonna do? He already got a buddy online there. Let me call him up. I know he gonna get me right. I got a plumber, HVAC, electrician. He got all that thing. See, most of y'all women, y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all used to put in work orders and getting a maintenance man come over and fix it. But guess what? You may have to be on the waiting list for about 2 or 3 days before the maintenance man even come to your house. And then by then, you having a stranger. You in your home, you don't even know. How does that make you feel, ladies? I'll be damned.
And you're absolutely right. I got to piggyback that because at least to me, I'm not going to speak for all women, Hank, but at least to me, the sexiest thing a man can do for me is do what he say and say what he do. Reliability. When I ask him or talk to him about something and he tells me I got you, that shit is sexy to me. And then when he gets me and it's done, that's what's sexy to me. I really don't care about money because I've always had my own money. It's it's your character. It's how you handle yourself. Are you reliable? Are you responsible? Do you say what you do and do you do what you say? A perfect example, ladies. I dated a gentleman and I wasn't used to this shit, Hank. It was hard for me. It was hard for me because I came out of a marriage that I was the brains of the operation. I ran shit. Okay, I can say it. You know, it is what it is. And he accused me of being controlling. I said, how the fuck am I controlling when you allowed me to have control? So whatever these other little women are whispering in your ears, you better let them know the truth. But he was like, hey, I need you to call me when you get off work. I need to know that you're good. Because at that time I was driving 50 miles to work back and forth. And I need you to call me when you're on your way out, when you get there. I mean, all he needed was a thumbs up, just need that I was good. I wasn't used to that. I wasn't. And at first I thought he was trying to control me. I'm like, well, why you need to know move? Why you need to, and then we had to negotiate because usually when I get off Hank, I like to decompress in the car. I go get me something to drink, get my J and ride out. Turn the wind, the moon roof up. He was like, I don't care who you gotta call, who you talk to, but I know I need to be the first one. So we negotiated. I said, well, how about you give me 30 minutes after my shift? He was like, how about we do 10? So I knew that after 10 minutes after my shift, I would have to at least let him know I'm good. And I looked at that like, damn, this man cares for my safety. This man, he's not being clean. He just want to make sure I'm good. I'm on this road traveling 50 miles there, 50 miles back. He just wants to make sure I'm good. But the next woman will look at it as controlling. Or you trying to find out every move. You trying to see where I'm going. You trying to see who I'm talking to. No, bitch, I'm just trying to make sure you're good and you're not stuck on the road. I may not be right there with you, but at least I can make some calls and make some moves just in case something happens. And that's how women need to start looking at things, because at the end of the day, ladies, my female embracers, we do need men. We run out of gas on the side of the road. It ain't a bunch of women that are going to come and push the car for us. It's going to be a man that's going to come help us and push our car. But we don't think like that.
But
So
let
let
me
me go ahead.
You know, some a lot of them say, "Oh well, I got AAA, I got roadside assistance." You might have
It's
to wait
still a
45
man.
minutes. But not only that, you may have to wait 45 minutes to an hour and a half out on the dark road with a flat goddamn tire. Is that what you want? Call AAA if you want to. Let somebody come up and snatch your ass up. I bet you wouldn't like it. But yet, your man's only 20 minutes away. He could go right up there, get you, change your tire, follow you on home, make sure everything's good. If you had a man. But since you don't want a man, call roadside assistance. You'll be there an hour and hours later, and you pray and hope that one of these creatures don't come out and snatch your ass up.
Oh, and another thing he used to make sure was, is your phone charged? You know, charge your phone. And then he would ask me, what time you got to be at work? And I would say 2 o'clock. And he was like, what time you plan on leaving the house? And I would tell him a time. He was like, nah, babe, I think you should leave 20 minutes earlier because you need some wiggle room in case you're running late or you hit some traffic or whatever. And he was always right. He was always right. He would call, you out the house yet? You good? Okay, boom. And it wouldn't even be all this long ass conversation. He just needed to know that I was good. I was okay. And that's what made him be okay. And women, that's the kind of protection that I never felt before in my life. So now when I date the next man, if he don't do that or makes me feel safe like that, I can't be with you. I can't, because when a woman already experienced that type of shit, it's a must now. And unfortunately, most men are not raised that way anymore. And that, again, that's where it comes from the conversation we have. If you're being raised by a single mother, you're not going to get that type of man that was acting that way. So what do you do to show a woman when you're out there that you're an alpha male? Do you just move naturally, or do you let women know? And it doesn't have to be romantically. I'm not just talking about women that you come across romantically. I'm just talking about women in general. Do you do anything specifically to let them know that you are, or you just you?
Shit, I don't do anything. I don't have to. Look, you be you. This is not an act. This is not a front. This is not some thing I turn off and on. This is me on a regular basis. So I'm not gonna put on a show for no woman or no dude. No, I'm not doing that. Why? I'm just gonna be me. Cause now you want me to be a character. I'm not no damn actor. Man, Hink is Hink. That's who he is. So no, I'm not doing nothing special to show you anything. I'm gonna have a conversation. You're gonna either tell by my conversation, by the way I act, the way I move, the way I carry myself. But I'm not gonna do anything special for you. No man or woman. No man should.
Okay.
And if you're doing it like that, then yeah, you ain't real. You about as real as these chicks wearing all these wigs and weaves. Yeah, I'm good.
I hear you. Now, I always hear you talk about that a woman has to have at least 7 of the 10 things checked off on your checklist. You kind of went over it on last week's show, and I was kind of like, damn, I didn't know that list until we had our show, but it's okay. Talk to me about those 10 things, Hank, because an alpha male like you have what's called, see, a woman will call you, because you have boundaries and standards, they would say that you're a narcissist or who hurt you or your mama hurt you. But what there actually are is boundaries and standards. So talk to me, Hank. Go through those 10 things. What 10 things do you expect of a woman to be blessed? I'm using your words. As you can tell, I've watched you for a long time. To be blessed with your last name. What are those 10 things? And ladies, listen to this. You must at least possess 7 of the 10 things. So go ahead. Talk.
Well, I mean,
tell these ladies out here.
Well, think about it. It can always be more. It won't be less, but it can always be more. Because your standards change along with age, right? When I was a young man, my standards was probably about 4 things: pretty, she can cook, she brought benefits, she had a job. That's my standards when I was probably 18, 19, 20, 21. Now, of course, as I got older, more mature, and I learned a little bit more and evolved a little bit, my standards changed and they increased because I was looking for more than just the beauty and all of that other stuff, that superficial shit. So, like one of the things, I'm not a smoker. So a woman who smokes, we're not going to vibe. We're not going to vibe. You have to have morals. You got to be honest. You got to be loyal. You got to be respectful. Those are some of the things that I my standards. One of my standards that I kind of separate around that kind of really hurts and affects women. When I say one pot, they like turn their nose up at me when I say that. I might as well say something bad about the mama when I say some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they feel some type of way when I talk about my one pot theory and how I roll with that. And if you can't, you won't be with me. You won't get blessed with my last name, of course. I'm not a fan of the weaves and a lot of makeup. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I forgot. Your money is my money and my money is my money. That's how it goes. No. That's how most of them think.
Well, that's why most of them ain't with me. They not blessed. So I'm all about our money coming together. If you're gonna give me your body, but you're not gonna give me your cash, that's nothing but paper. That makes no sense to me. You'll let me be inside you, but you have a problem with me handling the finances, so to say. We bringing our money together and we come as one. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't understand. That makes no sense to me. You're not worried about your health.
I say the same thing, Hank, but I do it. I say a little bit more ladylike. I say, so we'll exchange bodily fluids, but you can't put the money in one pot. That's most men don't give a fuck about your PhD, your bachelor's degree, or your money, because one, they know you ain't gonna spend the money on them. They stash all yourself and spend his money. And 2, like you said, just like money is paper, that bachelor's degree is just paper. That PhD is just paper. You women think that men carry that a lot of weight, and it doesn't. Y'all carry that with a lot of weight, but not the men. A lot of men will pick the uglier girl and the girl that doesn't have a degree just so they won't have to come home and fight you, and argue with you all day. So, like I tell women all the time, you better take this mirror out and look yourselves in the mirror and see what's wrong with you. Because while you're busy pointing one finger at somebody, look, there's 3 pointing at you. It's some real shit. Israel, I'm not having guests on yet until the interview's over. Okay? So hold off for a minute, my dear. So with that being said, so did you go over all of the things on your list?
No, I got a couple more. I got a couple more.
You spoke about hygiene.
Yes,
you spoke about hygiene because I remember the list. You had it posted on your thing for a minute.
That's very important. A woman's hygiene. You know, another standard is you must respect me as a man. That's a must. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is I look for a woman who has a father in her life. If not a father figure. Because I know if she has that type, she has a level of respect for a man, an appreciation for a man. She knows what it is to be around and interact with a man. So that's another one of my standards. I didn't get to post it last week, but I just wanted to share that this week. Again, now with me by education, I want my woman to be educated because that's a priority for me because I want our kids to be educated. Now, I'm an older man, and of course, I'm not having no more kids. He done got fixed. That is not a problem for him no more. But even when I was younger, I still prioritize education, and I want that for my kids. So my daughter has a degree. I want my son to go, and the most important thing I told him to get, I don't care about you going pro or none of that other shit. Get your college degree. That's what I care about. So I need for my lady, my future Mrs. Hink, to have her education in order and prioritize education for her because I want her to be an educated woman. I'm not intimidated by your education. How smart you think you are. Because guess what? A man with the most common sense is smarter, way smarter than any book smart dude any day. I'll take him any day over anybody who says they got a degree and they're smart as hell because they got book smart. Well, give me a man or a woman with good common sense and we'll run this goddamn world. Yeah, I'm good.
Exactly.
We're gonna roll with it.
And not only that, Hank, when you get older and she get older and all body parts ain't the same anymore, at least y'all have each other to have some decent conversation with, unless the mind goes too. But at the end of the day, you got to have some type of education, some type of have articulate and have conversation, because when there's no more loving out there, you got to still have intimacy, and intimacy is through conversation and doing other things. So do you get a lot of pushback or shit talking because you have these boundaries and standards?
Yeah, let me say the ones I get the most pushback from is right when I talk about the weaves, the makeup, the eyelashes, and all that shit. I get that pushback and the one pot. Those are the ones I get the most.
Those are the two main.
Yeah, those are the ones I get the most pushback. The other ones they kind of understand, the respect for a man. Since I'm not a smoker, I'm not a fan of. I don't date women who smoke. That most of them are already down with the education. That's what they care about. Most of them are all about looking for a man with good morals, so they can understand it, they can respect that. But the ones I get the most pushback is the one pot and my standards about the weave and the wigs and eyelash and the long talons. I can't stand that shit. So I get the most pushback for that. Out of anything I talk, I get the most pushback for that, which is cool. But that's just my standards, and again, I want a woman who has her own standards. I want to know what your standards are. You need to know. These are part of the tough questions every man should have with a woman. And you heard me say before, I don't believe in I don't ask questions. I'm interrogate you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like I'm interrogate you because I'm investing myself, my last name, and whatever finances and resources I'm bringing to you. I'm blessing you with that. But I got to make sure you the right lady I'm blessing. And if you're not that right lady, you will not make it with him. Like I said before, I will categorize where I see you fit. You're not the one type of person that don't deserve my last name. You deserve 20 minutes, but you don't deserve my last name. And if that's what I choose to give you, then that's what I choose to give you. And I move you out. I let you go accordingly. I'm going to Uber you back to the streets and let some other dude deal with your ass, because I'm not that guy. Ain't nothing about what you got
laughing. I died laughing when I heard you talk about the date and the girl that wanted to almost fight the waitress with the food. You really left her ass at the restaurant?
You better. It's shit, yeah.
But did you pick her up? Or y'all met?
Why would I want to deal with her like that? I'm not dealing with a woman like that. I'm not, because I already know what's going to end up eventually happening. That shit's going to try to turn on me. And now that's going to be a problem. So no, look, when I went on dates, I didn't go pick them up. We met. Just in case things don't go the way I want them to go. I'm not obligated to take them home. You ain't got to call no cab. You get in your own damn car and get on about your business. Matter of fact, I might even do a solid and finish paying for the bill, but I'm done. I'm out. Congratulations. Enjoy that coffee. Enjoy that meal. I'll give up that $120 for that moment as long as I can keep my peace. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Because I know if anything had happened, it would have been a bad thing. Yeah, it's not working. Men just need to know how to move.
Yeah, but most men would have still dealt with that bullshit just to get what? A shot at ass. Like you said. We need to make that a sound effect. A shot at ass.
Man, I'd rather go get some jergens and call it a night. The hell with this shit. I mean, it's not worth your sanity. A nagging woman, a trifling chick, why would you want to deal with that? It's not worth it. I don't care how pretty she is. I don't care how good you think she looks. Or well, she could throw it back. Dude, if she driving you crazy, that's not good. Your piece of your sanity.
By telling that to a 21-year-old. But try, like, look at our sons and their age that they're at. Try telling that to them where hormones are all over the place, and they trying to. I know I'm speaking crude, but you can tell that I've been around a lot of men. They're just trying to get their dick wet. You know what I'm saying? How do you talk to two young men and try to teach them what you are teaching them and I'm teaching them to think? You know what I'm saying? And all you could do is teach them, talk to them, politic with them, and hopefully my son tells me sometimes, Mom, I be hearing your fucking voice in the back of my head sometimes. I've been wanting to do something and I hear that New York accent and I can't do it, guys. I gotta go home. I said, well, whatever works and makes you do the right thing. I don't care what it is. You got me on one shoulder as the devil and another shoulder as an angel. Just remember that everything I'm trying to teach you is for your better. And remember, I love you. You're a great kid, but as soon as you walk out that door, you ain't nothing but a ninja to these people. He didn't understand why I got him ID at the age of 9 years old. I said, Mom, why do I need an ID? I'm still really young. I said, because we live in a predominantly white neighborhood, and you always got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. If police pull up on you and they ask you, what are you doing here? Boom, you got your ID, you ready. You know what I'm saying? And they'll have more respect for you as a young man. I had to teach them. One day I was having a conversation, Hank, at the bank with the lady, and we there bullshitting because I was opening up a business account. And that takes a little bit longer because, they got to check your EIN. They got to verify everything. And we're talking about our sons. And I said to her, I don't know how it came up, but I said, no, you have to raise your son different from my son. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, did you have to teach your son how to act when he got pulled over by the police? No. Well, yeah. I had to teach my son how to act accordingly if he was ever pulled over by the cops. Did your son have to get an ID at the age of 9 years old? She was like, no, why? I said, yeah, because my son is Black. And if he's walking up and down a white neighborhood. So I said, we're not raising our kids. We're living in two different worlds. These kids live in two different worlds. And it's the shock and the surprise in her face that really, like, some people are so oblivious to the point of what we Black and brown and melanated people have to go through. Okay, as a mixed child, Hank, I got it from both ends. I used to get my ass whooped in school. Oh, you think you're cute with your light skin and your long hair, because the Black girls didn't like me. And the fact that I was dating they Black men. And then the white people were like, well, you're going to have to choose us or them. You're either going to be with us, the white folks, or you're going to be with the blacks. So the 7th grade year was very lonely because I said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And I had no friends 7th grade because I stood my ground. I'm who I am, and you're going to love me for me or leave me alone. So biracial kids get at both ends too. I had to teach that's a long story and I'm not going to get into that. I had to teach my dad that. He has 4 kids and 3 of them are all white, green eyes, brown hair. I'm the only one with color because of my mother. And he thought because I had his last name and he was Italian and he was a factory owner in New York that I carried the same clout that my other siblings did. And he didn't understand. I got this, Dad. I got color in my skin. So we had to do an experiment. He just couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe what I went through simply because I have color on my skin. He thought because of the money, the last name, and the clout that I was going to get the same type of treatment. I said, Dad, we're living in 2 different worlds, because he used to tell me always growing up, you have the best of both worlds. You have the best of both worlds. I said, no, I don't, Dad. I'm fucked up in both of these worlds. You just don't know it. But anyway, we've only got a couple more questions, not too long. Do alpha males cry?
No, I guess I answered that question a bit earlier, but yeah. Again, we do have feelings. We do feel bad. We feel happy. We feel sad. We have our good days and our bad days. Again, like I said, long as you're not out here just boo-hooing every goddamn day, like some girl.
Now you need to be on some depressant then.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you not like some girl got stood up at a goddamn prom. Yeah, yeah. But as far as men, feeling emotions, loss of family members, going through some tough times, dealing with maybe a divorce or separation or whatever the case may be. Man, a man's gonna have feelings. It's not easy. It's not easy being a stand-up dude. It's not. But guess what? That's the most beautiful thing you can be, though, is a stand-up dude. Because you know what you got to deal with. And at the end of the day, it's going to benefit your family, your kids, your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to hold you in a high regard and show you the respect that you truly deserve. So, yeah, it's not a problem I don't think it is an issue for any man to cry, let alone an alpha man. So.
Okay. And then, how do you personally handle now this is for the women that you're involved romantically, as an alpha male, as yourself, how did you handle your ex-wife or your girlfriend that you're involved with now? How do you move with her? I mean, how do you handle her? Do you tend to have to check yourself? Check them a lot, or I mean, how do you move with them? How do you handle them? How does an alpha man handle a woman?
With my ex-wife, is that what you asked?
Yeah, either your ex-wife or whatever, or whatever relationship you're in. How does an alpha man, besides being a leader, but personally, is it a lot of work? To handle a woman when you're an alpha male, or you just don't fuck with them and you deal with a woman that knows how to deal with you?
No, you look, even the ones you're not involved with, like my ex-wife. So of course I'm no longer, she's my ex, and that's what it is. But we're cordial. We co-parent together. We work together. We may not agree on certain things, but one thing we do agree on is we want the best interest of our son. And that's the most important thing, and that's all that matters. As far as any woman, the woman I'm dealing with now, she knows what she's getting. I presented it to her. She knows what she's dealing with. She accepts that. Of course, she has her father in her life. Well, had her father's passed. She had her father in life, so she already knows how to deal with men. She even lets me know that I remind her of him. You know what I'm saying? She tells me, you sound like my father. I feel like I'm listening to my father. And so that lets me know I'm in a good place with this woman. She's in a good place with me because she holds a man like a father to a high regard. So she had a good chance with me once I found out this information. I learned this about her. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as how I deal with her on a regular basis, yeah, she knows. She knows I'm a no nonsense dude. I don't know no punches. You know, sometimes I'm too straightforward at times. My ex-wife used to get on me about my tone and delivery. You know, that was.
I mean, I can
Just like
see that, Hank. I mean, you know, sometimes you know,
I know.
that's who
I
you
agree.
are.
I agree.
That's who you are.
I get like that sometimes. I mean, I say shit, and she'll say, "You say shit, you just so cut so deep, you don't realize you're saying it." I say, "Okay, I agree, but I don't give a damn. This is the way I feel. This is the way I move. This is the way I think. Look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I don't have the problem admitting I'm wrong. I don't have the problem saying I'm sorry. I apologize. But when I feel like I'm right on something, I'm standing on the 10 toes down. If you my friend, I'm down with you to the end. I don't play this back and forth game. You know what I'm saying? If you my lady, I'm gonna make sure you good. We gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? So as far as how I deal with, she knows what dealing. Matter of fact, I be vulnerable with your audience. I left her ass at a goddamn restaurant. Now I didn't leave in a restaurant. I left her ass in the car. Let me tell the story. We was at the mall. I believe it was I want to say Atlanta. Either Atlanta, I think, no, I know in Chicago. We was in Atlanta. I was out there for my son's basketball tournament.
Okay.
We had this group. Look her. I said, I'm not going to keep talking about this. I'm done talking about this. I'm done talking about it. We're not going to keep talking about this. She wanted to keep talking about it. I said, I'm gone. I got out the car, walked up. You can stay in this car if you want to. I'm gone. I ain't got time for this shit. So I went into the mall. She stayed in the car. Probably about 30 minutes later, she come walking through. You just left me? Somebody could have said. I said, that's on you. I told your ass I'm gone. I'm not playing this shit. We're not going to keep having this conversation. You say what you need to say. We addressed it. We dealt with it. Let's move on. If there's any more problem, we can talk about it later. I'm not talking about it in the car right now. We're not going back and forth like this. But I had no problem with doing her the same way. She gets out of line. She talking crazy. I hang up on you. You're not going to be talking crazy. Because this conversation is short. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And I hang up. You keep calling me back. I keep hitting that F you button. It doesn't matter. I'm not accepting that bullshit. So, this is me educating her, teaching her, letting her know. I don't accept that bullshit. I ain't got time to be arguing with you. We're not going to sit here fussing. For what? I'm 47 years old. Life's too short for me. I'm more towards the end than the beginning. So I'm enjoying life. And you're not going to stress me out.
Now, would you say that came with age and experience, or were you always kind of like this since you was young?
As far as me being straightforward and blunt, I was always like that. I remember many times my grandfather said, boy, you better learn how to fight because your mouth is going to get you into a lot of them. So I had to learn how to fight. Either that or talk shit and get my ass whooped. I wasn't into getting my ass whooped. So, yeah, I've been like that. As far as tolerating women like that, yeah, that had to be learned. That had to be learned. Like you said, I was that dude out here just trying to get some ass. I understand.
No, shot of that ass.
Yeah, that's it. I was out here trying to get shot ass. But I had to take some L's. I had to take some rejections. And guess what? I learned. I'm not going to be catering to these women. They standard models. They a dime a dozen. I'm not doing this. And that's when I started moving differently. Probably about 24, 25 was when I
still considered kind of young.
Well, it was, but that's when I made that's when my mindset totally changed. I said, I'm all about my money. And that's when I started moving differently. Like I said, I take money over ass any day. So that's just where
the ass ain't going nowhere. It's going to be right there. But if there's an opportunity to make money.
I tell cats all the time. I said, why y'all doing all this? It's going to come. They're going to come, dog. As long as you know how to have a good conversation, you know how to carry yourself, walk and talk, the women coming. The ugliest dude gets women if he has the confidence. Look, I'll tell you another story.
Go ahead.
This is what I used to do when I was younger. I know it's gonna sound bad, and look, it is. But I used to.
Okay, this is a safe place.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. We could be vulnerable here. I used to go and have conversations and try to get girls' phone numbers of the ugliest chicks, the fattest, most unattractive chicks. Nobody would want. I would be out there talking to them, shooting my game at them. But you know what I was doing? I was practicing. Because guess what? That's the conversation. An ugly woman's conversation is no different from the most beautiful woman. It's just aesthetics. That's it. They look better. But guess what? The mindsets are pretty much the same. One's got a little bit more confidence. The other one has very little confidence. But the other conversation about them is pretty much the same. They pretty much want the same thing. They love the attention of a man. They love to be entertained. They want to be taken care of. All that's, every woman wants that. And so I practice. Some of them got rejected by. It was kind of harsh getting rejected by an ugly chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, you ugly as hell. Why the hell you rejected me? But I learned. Damn, man, you know it's bad ugly chick.
That's a double win.
Oh my God, damn, I had to look in the mirror a couple times. Am I that bad?
You didn't give her. See, what happened was you didn't give her that credit now. You know what I'm saying? I feel the same way when an ugly man trying to nut up on me. I said, wait a second, you ugly as fuck, and you trying to, but then it turns sexy. I said, wait a second, you ugly as hell, and you trying to nut. Oh, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because
it's about that confidence.
It's good to have Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's all I was doing. I was building up my armor, my strength, my confidence, my conversation. I mean, back in the days, we used to play the game, who's gonna get the most numbers? We go to the malls, the skating ranks, go to the whatever social gathering was going on. You know what I'm saying? We go to the school dances. We out there trying to get numbers. We, when we all got done, we said we're gonna stop at this time. We all present them on the table. You put, here go my numbers. How many you get? I got 5. Shit, I only got 2.
Yeah, they're on little pieces of paper and stuff, and all folded up. And see, we're the same age.
It didn't matter. We used napkin. I remember going to clubs using cocktail napkins. Whatever it took to get that number.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, I'm a year older than you, but you remember when you used to write notes in school and they used to fold them up and play them games with the notes and stuff, and you used to slid a note into, do you like me? Check yes and check no. And I mean, it was just so organic back then. And it was real. You used to play spin the bottle, stupid games like 7 Minutes in Heaven, things like that. But now it's just like so different. When we moved up here to Georgia, I set my kid up a week before me because school was starting for him. And I came up here, he was like, Mom, 2 guys already hit on me. I'm like, what? He was like, do you know what it is to grow up in a generation where you don't know if you're talking to a boy or a girl? I'm like, and that I sat on that, Hink, and that shit is crazy. I said, well, do you look at their Adam's apple? And he was like, Mom, they're taking that shit out too. You cannot tell sometimes, and I'm gonna do a show about that, but I have to be very careful because one, we live in a cancel culture. As soon as you say something they don't agree, they want to cancel your ass. And 2, you have to be sensitive to the situation, but there's just some things with that I do not agree with. But right now, I'm new, I'm growing, and I'm not ready to go deep with that yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I could get pulled at any moment. And no, I didn't work too hard. For a perfect example, when I did talk to Kevin Samuels, I knew how to act. I have been watching him long enough that I mean, anybody that knows me can tell that it took a lot of control and discipline, because and I could say it here because this is my safe place. He kept calling me old and this, and I wanted to tell him, excuse me, sir, I got plenty of good pussy to still give. Okay. What am I supposed to do? Sit at home and twiddle my thumbs and wait for me to die? Yeah, you may consider me old, but the life expectancy of women back then was 54. We're living now till we 84. That's 30 more years. I'm not trying to compete with these women. I know they got me, but at the same time, I don't have a problem attracting men. He made fun, he talked shit about my makeup. He talked shit about the outfit that I had on. I wasn't even expecting to be on his show that night. I was actually live on another app. And after almost a year and a half of me trying to get on his show, when I least expected it, he picked me. It is what it is, but I acted accordingly. I knew how I had to act. I knew I had to talk to him in order to keep him engaged with me. And as much as he went off on me, he wasn't disrespectful with it, but as much as he talked his shit to me, like he was talking about, well, nobody's going to respect you. Nobody's going to listen to you. And then I said to him respectfully, so we're supposed to take marital advice from somebody who's a twice divorcee? Yo, he threw that shit right over his head. He went right, he did, he went into another topic. That's when I knew I won that battle. I didn't win the war, but I won that battle. And if any of you guys want to see that show, because I did do a reaction video, that's my first video that I came out with. And it's the very first one, Embrace the Grace Talks with Kevin Samuels. It was good. It was a learning experience. I was in my feelings for like 3-4 weeks, Hank, because, a man that you admire and respect so much, he chewed my ass out. And I'm going to tell you why. I did 99 things right. And he kept harping on the one thing that I didn't do right. And he didn't ask why. And I realized because he didn't give a fuck to ask why. And I didn't volunteer the information. And I'm not going to tell you guys what it is because y'all going to have to go see the show. But a person can do 99 things right and they'll only keen in on the one thing you're doing wrong. And that's what it was all about. But it's okay. I got the conversation with him. I was able to talk to him. I have that memory and that video that'll never go away. But I still can't watch a full video of him because I still get too emotional about it. I just, that was a big loss to me. I didn't realize just how much he was a part of my life when I started watching him. It was crazy. I learned a lot from him. I didn't realize that y'all black men didn't like the weave and the eyelashes and the long nails, because I'm looking at all my friends and they're doing their hair. And a lot of them do look beautiful, because I love the fact that a black woman can look one way tonight and look totally different tomorrow. Only black women can pull that shit off. And I think that's hot sometimes. But I really thought that y'all, I learned that from him. I really thought that y'all that's why I thought black women were doing that all the time with the weave and the nails and the eyelashes. But I've come to realize that they don't really do it for the men. They do it to compete with women. And I'm like, damn, really? And even though y'all black men say y'all don't like it, they still doing it. Why do you think that?
I have no idea. Because if we telling you that's not what we're into, I'm starting to wonder if these women are into each other. Because you're definitely not doing for us. You're doing it out of spite of.
Y'all hear that? It's coming from a black man. That's not me, guys.
It has to be. It has to be out of spite of us. Because for you to sit there and do it, we telling you that's not what we into, what we like, we don't want to deal with that, and you still do it. Yeah, that's a problem for me. I don't entertain it. You're not going to do anything for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not my thing. Now, some men are okay with that. Some men are into that. They cool with that. Hey, congratulations to you. You got a lot of options out there, brother. Because it seems like every woman I see out here nowadays, I got all that exterior going on. Yeah, not me. I'm good.
The first thing I ask when I see a woman with long nails is like, how do you wipe your ass? I gotta know. And how do you cook without getting? Oh, and by the way, to my embracers and the basement dwellers, I did put the link up. We'll go for 15 more minutes. Hink, I usually try to not go more than 2 hours. My max is 2.5 hours because I understand that most people's attention span is not that long. And then, I don't want to take up a lot of your time. So I did put the link up. If you guys want to come up here, throw your 2 cents in, talk your shit, you're welcome to. I just need to see you behind camera that you're real, because a lot of funny shit be going on backstage and I'm not having it. Okay. But while we're still going, Hank, I just want to really, really thank you for coming on here. I really wanted a woman to, especially my Black sisters, to really learn the mindset of an alpha male. And that's why I nitpicked you. And I thought a lot about these questions. I researched my questions and I wanted to ask you good substance questions because I want my embracers, my lady embracers, to really, the objective is to get us back together. Like Kevin Samuels used to say, why is it woman belongs to the white man? The Hispanic woman belongs to the Hispanic man. The Asian woman belongs to the Asian man. But I'm sorry, my Black queens, y'all walk around here like y'all don't belong to the Black man, and y'all can't even give a fucking smile to them. Oh, smile at them. Make pretend. Make pretend. You don't have to like him. You don't have to give him your number. Just say thank you when he opens the door for you. It's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all want to get mad at me and at Becky and at Xing Ling because it's not that we're weaker. It's not that we put up more with they shit. It's that it's like we're more, we're able to love them more, respect them more. If my man say, hey, babe, I'm going to the moon, I said, all right, just be back by dinner time. I'm not going to argue. If your man likes sports, let that man be and let him watch the game. Why would you want to have a serious conversation when the game is coming on? Make that make sense to me. And that's what y'all women do. You take away what he loves and what he likes to do. When he walks through the door right away, let him come in, hand him a cold beer, put ESPN on. Suck his dick, do something, then start having the conversation. Set the mood, set the tone. You want that new bag? You think he gonna want to buy you that new bag when all you're doing is fighting and combating with him? You get that new bag while you on top, grinding it out, and he'll think about that and go right to this. It's like, ladies, it's like taking candy from a baby, but you just got to do it right and gracefully. You know what I'm saying? Would you agree with me, Hank?
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, like you said, they just got to do it right. Most of them don't want to do that. They don't want to do right. They feel like, what's the old saying? You get more bees with honey. I mean, you really do. Now, my lady, I had, of course, Cheryl would teach her, look, first of all, don't talk to me during movies. I don't want to have conversations doing it. I want to be entertained by the movie, not by your questions. Yeah, that's not the thing to do, especially when I watch sports. I told her, I said, look, I don't have no problem you ask me a question. Just make sure you're doing it during a commercial or doing a break in action, something like that. But, thank God for technology. I can pause. I can pause my game and answer your question. If you really trying to learn, I'll educate you. But I don't want to sit there and hold court. I tell you that. We're not going to sit there have a long drawn out. I ask you a question real fast. Can you open this for me? Come on, bring it here. I'll open it up. And there you go. Fortunately for me, her daughter really loves sports. So me and her daughter's are on the same page about that. She doesn't like to be talked to while she's watching the game. So now she has a better understanding. Why do I act the way I act when sports is on? I don't want to be disturbed. I don't want to have a lot of conversation. I just want to be entertained by the basketball game, not by your beauty. I'll deal with your beauty later. But right now, entertained by the basketball game or the football game or whatever event I'm watching, or whatever movie I'm watching. Don't talk to me during the movie. It's not going to be at the theater. And you ask me, what happened? Maybe we watching the same goddamn movie. I see it. Why didn't you?
I knew you were going to say that. Aren't you looking at the same thing?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
you didn't see it? Well, you got to catch it on the replay. So yeah, yeah, not a lot of that needs to be going on. We don't need to have a whole lot of conflict. Let's just enjoy the game. Let me enjoy my game. I'm in my moment. I'm not disturbing you. When you watching Lifetime, a Hallmark channel, or whatever other later channel you watch, I'm not coming to ask you a question. I may just sit down beside you and just pay attention. And I learn what's going on by the end. I told her, I said, you can learn the game by just watching it. And if you got any more questions, how about you Google it or watch it on YouTube? And when the game's over, we can talk about it.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm the same way. I'm a sports chick, Hank. I love baseball, basketball, and football. And don't, especially if my team is losing, don't talk to me. Do not talk to me while my teams are playing. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So we got a lot of comments. It's too many comments tonight to read out, so I'm just posting them. I really do appreciate your engagement, guys. So make sure y'all go and subscribe to Hink channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. If you like what you heard, if you like what you see, go ahead and drop that Cash App and support the channel. You know, I used to be very timid about that, but I see so many YouTube content, and to me sometimes it seems like I'm begging, and I'm not used to begging. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just like, I don't know. Hey, I'm not you. That's why it's so hard for me to ask for help sometimes, because I'm so used to doing things my damn self. Look, if you like what you heard, subscribe, like, share, drop the Cash App. If not, that's okay too. I'm going to be here with or without the Cash App, but it would be highly noted and highly appreciated. And the same thing goes for Hank the Basement, because people don't realize just how much work, time, and energy it takes to be a YouTube content creator, especially if you want to do good. I mean, and now my embracers want me to do it 3 times a week. I'm like, God damn, that's it. I did a short on Saturday about Mother's Day. And I was a daddy's girl, as you can already know. And me and my mom, we was all right. So I told my manager at work, I said, you see all these goddamn balloons and flowers? It looked like the whole store threw up. And I said that on the video. I said, I want that same fucking energy on Father's Day. Okay? Is it that we don't give the same energy to fathers? And then I challenged my lady embracers, stop with the lame ass gifts, fucking socks and underwears and ties. If you know, like you see all the things you love in your background, go to Amazon and you know, your woman should buy you something like that, things that you're into. That's what I said on the show. If your man is into cigars, go spend the money, drop $200-300 and buy him a good cigar, humidifier. If NFL schedule's out, buy him a ticket to the game for him and his boys. You know, even though y'all act like y'all don't care or it's not necessary, but deep down, our men care. They want to feel appreciated. They want to feel needed. You got to show some love, especially to the good ones. You know.
I said this on the show. I said this on the show before. I think one of the questions was if men feel bad about accepting gifts from women. I said, hell no. Well, why should I? I'm not gonna. Why should I? I deserve it. Why should I feel bad about getting a gift? Why? Y'all sound crazy.
Exactly. Especially if the man is laying it down. If you're laying it down.
Look, if my lady wants to give me,
I didn't just.
If my lady won't give me a gift, I'm gonna accept it with open arms, and I'm gonna tell her thank you. You know, and I'm gonna tell her how much I appreciate it, and all that good stuff. I wouldn't turn a gift away. I wouldn't feel bad about accepting a gift. No, because she deemed me good enough to give me one, so why not?
I'm sure you turned around and got her one. And I said that. I said, all y'all ladies are here getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting gifts, getting taken out to dinner, being treated like the queens that y'all are. And some of y'all don't deserve shit. Why can't we do that with our men and our fathers and our husbands? I mean, it's just not fair and it's not right. And that's why I tell men all the time on my show, there's 2 main things that I say here. The first one is men need to start taking their place at the table. at the head of the table and stop sitting on the fucking sideline. That's one thing. And the second thing that I try to preach is protect 4 things. And I think I've heard you say it too. Protect your money, protect your seed, protect your last name, and protect your peace. That's important. Those 4 things are the most important thing that a man can protect. And I preach that to my son all the time. Don't make no woman no single woman. You better be married before you have a kid. But you know what? These kids see, well, you could still have a kid and not be married. You could still be a parent and not be married. See, because that's what they're used to seeing. So many single parent households, so much bullshit. And we're teaching them the wrong way, because obviously it worked back then, because we wouldn't be so bad off right now like we are right now. These kids are lost in the fucking sauce, Hank. Some of them are so far gone that there's nothing that we can do for them to save them. But and everybody's not fit to be saved, so we can only save those that want to be saved. And it is what it is. All right, well, we're getting close to that time, so we're gonna go ahead and close out. Go ahead and give me your final box. Just wrap this up in a nice box with a cute bow. At the end of the day, what do you have to say? Your final.
Well, look, final things I like to share with on my show on a regular basis, man, that I'm encouraged, man, to do. And that's black men. Please protect yourself at all times. If you need to get in somebody's Zoom meeting or sit on somebody's couch to get your mental right, please do that. Get your blood work done. Make sure your A1C's in order. Diabetes and heart disease is the biggest killer amongst black men. So I need for you to do what you need to do to make sure that's all good. Make sure you make your doctor visits. Make a doctor visit. Guys, a man of older age such as myself, man, go get your prostate and your colonoscopies. That's very important. I watched my grandfather die of colon cancer. It's not a pretty thing. And these are some preventative maintenance that could be taken care of early if they're detected. So black men, if y'all want to one day rule the world with me, because that's what I'm planning on doing one day, I would love to see y'all right beside me ruling this world like we're going to do. I'm all for nepotism, because my son's going to be the next ruler after I'm dead and gone. And his son's going to be the next ruler after he's dead and gone. So I'm all for it, but in order for us to be here, we got to make sure our mind and our body is healthy and right where it needs to be. Make sure our mental's in the right place. Make sure our physical's in the right place. So do what you got to do, black man, so we can do this together.
And where can we find you, Hank?
I appreciate you. I appreciate you for allowing me to hang out with you tonight with your embraces. You can find me in the basement. I dropped the link in the chat, but that's where you can find me. Like I said, Mondays at 7 p.m. We're gonna talk about some sports. We're gonna have a good time, talk that shit. You know how we used to do in the barbershop. Well, we're gonna do the same thing in the basement, baby. Come over and break bread with me. But on Wednesday, we're gonna have that good man talk. I'm gonna have a show. I'm not gonna really have a show because I had this show, so I didn't want to do too much. But I'm just gonna react to some videos and some clips I've seen on social media. So, man, if you want to come over and kick it with me sometime, then let's do it. We can have fun with it. And just hear your perspective, hear your opinions, hear how you feel, hear what you're thinking. That's how we do in the basement.
And yeah, I see you on the network. You're odd and with Precious. Okay.
Yeah. I hang out there too. Well, matter of fact, tonight.
Okay.
Well, tonight I'm gonna be on King's Talk at 10:30, so we're gonna go do my thing over there for a bit. So it's all good. I just want to get out here, just have fun, man. Educate brothers. Make sure I get the message out to the brothers, and make sure I can do what I can to encourage them, uplift them. You know what I'm saying? Share the word. That's about it. That's all I'm trying to do. And hopefully, in the meantime, some of these crumbs fall off the table. Hopefully, players can hustle it up, man, and they can get that knowledge. Because guess what? If y'all got sons, they need it. Your nephews, your little cousins, your brother, whatever, man, send them over to the basement so we can have that conversation, man. He can get that good education that he really needs.
He be real with it, ladies, and I'm not kidding. And thank you, Hink, for coming. I really appreciate you. You were one of those reached out right away. You was willing to work with me. You know, I'm not nobody big. I don't have 100,000 subscribers, but I like to work with people, not because of the amount of subscribers they have, but because of the content that they put out there. You know, I've been out here almost 7 months. I ain't even reached 500, and that's okay because my time is coming. I'm running a marathon. I'm running slow and steady. I'm not trying to get to the end of the finish line quickly. I ain't going nowhere. I am not going nowhere. So with that being said, guys, again, I'm Grace from Embrace the Grace. This is a channel where we embrace growth, truth, healing, as you can tell, and we are always very respectful. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and of course YouTube. My Monday night shows is moving to Sunday nights starting June 3rd because my work schedule is changing, so I got to start putting that out there. But I will be going 3 times a week now because it was requested of me, and I can't let my embracers down. And with that being said, I do this because it's necessary. I have the messy, uncomfortable, and awkward conversations. It's very easy to talk about sweet stuff, but we're in a lot of trouble, guys. Our brown, black, melanated communities are in a lot of trouble, and we need the old heads, as the young heads want to say. It's us responsibility to teach the younger ones because that's our future. The children are our future, and if we don't teach them right, it's already fucked up. I just don't want for it to get more fucked up. We have sons, me and him, we both have sons. They're gonna have to deal with these ratchet ass females out here. And I pray every night that he makes sound decisions. So keep tuning in, keep subscribing, liking, and sharing. And again, thank you for coming out. I know I'm gonna see you again on these YouTube streets. So stay the way you are. Don't change because what you're doing is necessary. Young black men need what you're putting out there. And my ladies, I bring the heat and I bring the static. Since y'all want to shoot me the messenger, I'm bringing the black men. I'm bringing what y'all want to see, so y'all can hear it from the horse's mouth, so y'all can learn from them. Because the best way to learn about a man is to learn from a man. All that bullshit y'all be listening, like your single friends will keep you single. And that's some damn truth. If you want to know about men, go to the men. They'll teach you and they'll tell you right. So with that being said, y'all all have a good night. You got 30-minute break, boss, and you got to be back on it at 10:30. So I got to give you some room to breathe a little bit. You guys take care, and I'll see you out in these YouTube streets. Take care, Hank. Thank you again. Take care, babe.
All right.